Yep.
All right, one thing I want to touch on. First of all, shout out to Tora Sense. Follow her on Facebook. I hate most of like the little people who do little dating advice or whatever, because to me it's all just a bunch of fluffy nonsense. But I think she is someone who actually speaks a lot of logic and actually talks about, you know, the actual foundations and, you know, strong, building blocks and logic of relationships versus just the lovey-dovey stuff. And I really do appreciate that from her. Mm-hmm. And I scrolled past a post the other day. It said, stop agreeing to be exclusive with the first man who pays you a little bit of attention. Date to get to know yourself and what you want from men so that you find more than a man, but the right man for you. So more than a man, but the right man for you. Date with sense. And to me, she makes a lot of points like this, but she gets to the idea to me of trying to have some type of intentional or planned dating. This is for men or women. A lot of her content, she might tailor a little bit more specifically towards women because that's probably predominantly most of her audience. But her advice usually applies the other way. And I'm not like a dating advice guru, but I think like in, you know what I'm saying, in the society we live in, I just think a lot of our issues systemically come from people making rash, romanticized ideas, because I feel like in Western culture specifically, we broadcast and show this idea of what relationships are, and they always are lovey-dovey versus like, you know, strong foundation or moral principles or what someone is.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? It's always like when you watch a movie, when a man and a woman, you know, a love story. It's like, I saw her eyes and I was mesmerized and I was lost in her eyes, or I saw him and he gave me butterflies, and then all this other nonsense, and oh my God, I love this person so much.
Yeah.
And then they try to figure out who the person
is.
It's
false, like, it's not a real, like, foundational type thing. Like,
and it's like the thing I was saying with college. It's like, bro, why would you get so emotionally invested in something before you even know what that thing is really about?
Oh, yeah, college.
So anything. So it's like a relationship. People would like to get emotionally invested before they really know what is the meat and potatoes of that thing is. So why would you go? But the thing she preaches a lot of is understand who this person is. And then decide whether or not you want to take the chance of getting emotionally invested with that person. And that could save you so much time. If you just scout 10 people and say, time and money, right? Like, if you scout 10 people and say, these two people are good candidates, they have the same moral ideas as me, they have the same foundational principles as me, I think we would be compatible in these different type of ways. Yeah. Then you decide whether or not, okay, I might take a chance to try to get emotionally invested with this person. I might get a chance to get to know this person a little better. But what happens is people do it the opposite way. They'll see somebody just like the vibe of that person, because that's the word, that's trendy word nowadays. You like the vibe of that person. You like the idea of a person, and you get romantically involved with a person and don't know anything about what they're about. Then that's why most marriages end in divorce and all these things, because you fell in love
with the idea of what they.
Oh yeah, or you just fell in love with a person, but you didn't really understand that person. Mm-hmm. You just loved, you know, what that person was doing for you, with that feeling they were giving to you. And feelings are temporary. Man. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with that. So that's why I really found what she always says to me profound things, and she's one of the few who I feel like offer actually sound, I feel like, dating advice to the public, because I feel like we need to do that. We need to stop doing things without intention, man.
Bro, that's, you know what, and you know me, and you know my personal life, but I ain't gonna get into all of that. But like, that is a very real, like, that's real, especially like how you took it and kind of like expanded on it, like the whole idea of like falling in love, like with the idea of like what you like, fall in love with like somebody's potential, right? And that's such a dangerous thing, because like, it's just a business of investing. Like, you know, you got good investments. Exactly. That's another topic we need to get on one day. But like, you know, you got good investments in the stock market, and you got bad investments. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like, both investments is like, you're making that investment off of what you think it's going to become. Yeah. But it's like, you make that investment, put that $300 into it, thinking that it's going to be this, and then tomorrow something happened, and now you've lost $280. Speaking from experience. So it's like, it's like the same thing with relationships, bro. I mean, I've definitely been there. I mean, people I know have, you know, been there deeper than what I have, and It really sucks, man. I mean, you really got to get to know. You really have to get to know somebody for real before you like start like getting super involved. And that's why I said like that whole dating to get. What's it say? Dating to get to know yourself and which one. Like, but you got to think though. So like, what does that mean when she says like dating to get? No, not date to get, but like dating. Like, how do you feel about that? Like dating.
Okay, go ahead. I think that's a great question because, bro, another post she had that took people aback when she said it. She said women should be dating way more than one man at a time, and then a lot of women were like, "What you mean?" She's like, they thought she was advocating for women to basically be like hoes, like you know what I'm saying? But she's saying that's the reason because you guys' idea of dating is not mine. My idea of dating isn't getting romantically involved and having sex with men. She's saying you don't have to have sex with nobody when what she calls dating is basically like interviewing. Like just understanding, that's like real. Suiting. So she's saying, I'm saying what's when you have a position, right? You got a position that's open.
Touching on some dangerous stuff right now.
It's a very important position, right? Think about it. If you were a CEO of the company and you had the most important position available, would you take one interviewee at a time and get all invested in his personal life and whatever, and then realize if he can do the job right? No, you see who all you feel like can do the job right. Maybe you may have 20 applicants. You're gonna narrow that down to a good 3. These are the most appropriate applicants. Then out of those, then you'll get to, because some people don't even get an interview. So the people you interview are only the ones who you feel like are even qualified. So then I start, after I get the people who are qualified, then I start interviewing. Then I get to know you, your personality and other things. Now I see what that stuff meshes. But people do it backwards. They get to know the personality and stuff, then try to figure out if they're qualified. You playing the game backwards. So when she talking about dating, she's talking about understanding, this is again for men or women. You're understanding who you feel like is qualified, who you feel like is qualified to be a wife, who you feel like is qualified to be a mother, who you feel like is qualified if you're not into marriage, you just want to have somebody as a life partner. Whatever you want, you figure out if this person will be good for that.
What do you mean life partner? What does that mean?
Some people are into
like Will and Jada, like
I don't know, bro. Like, look, I'm not trying to judge people. What I'm saying, everybody's idea is different. Some people have different ideas than me.
No, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, whatever you want, figure out if people are qualified for that position first, then begin delving in to if you want to get emotionally invested in whatever. So that's why she's saying date different men at a time. She's saying interview different men at a time. And don't be up there sleeping with them, because once you start sleeping with them, men or women, now you're emotionally invested. And now you're emotionally invested with somebody who could potentially go bad. And that's how a lot of that bad, you know what I'm saying?
That's very true. I think that, but like that's some real stuff. I don't know who that person is, but
her name's Tora Sense. Follow her on Facebook.
Yeah, well,
she's
dope.
How
I feel about Facebook. But no, for real though. Like I think different people come to that realization at different times. Like some people are lucky enough to, have that personality trait to think, about stuff like that. And then like just right off the rip.
Right.
And then you got other people who learn through life experiences.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
100%.
And that's definitely some deep. That's some real stuff right there. Like it's so many ways we can take that conversation, bro. But that people definitely need to start. People definitely need to start doing that.
Yeah, bro. They need to date with sense, man.
Like you really start to, like, you got to start looking at people, like, just because people are always gonna put off, like, like when you first start talking to somebody, like, you go through like that 3 or 4 or whatever month, like infatuation phase, cupcake phase, and start talking, and like they're gonna show you their best self always. But then it's just like, what about when that stuff ends? How are you when you get upset?
Right.
What like limits are you really willing to take it to when you get upset? Are you able to control your tongue? Are you somebody who results to physical violence when you mad, or you can't understand? You can't get through an argument. I mean, it's so many. That's a whole different thing,
bro. And just real quick, just put like it's like an analogy. There's another analogy I just thought of. It's like if you were going to go buy a home. If you're a smart homeowner, you're going to look at things like the foundation and where it's built and where it's located and things like that. If you just go in and you like the wallpaper and you like the furniture, you know what I'm saying? That's a very shallow level of thinking, like what you want to do. Because this home is like, it might be a 30, 40 lifelong investment. That's what you're buying it for. You know what I'm saying? It's not, the cheap thing. The wallpaper's going to, come off. The paint will scratch.
Because what about
furniture will get ruined.
If
the foundation is horrible, bro, a lot of times people are building relationships with no type of foundation, and that's for why whenever it comes, it's almost like, I mean, we could. Should we touch on Cardi B and Offset? Or,
Hell yeah, we can. I mean, I don't really care too much about. I don't really care nothing about no celebrities. But
that's the first thing.
That's stuff though.
That's the first thing.
What's
the
that?
First thing is, I hate this infatuation, this idolization people have with celebrities for one, and especially
folks don't even know you exist, bro.
Especially celebrity relationships, like. And anybody's relationship, speculating on anyone's relationship is just like one of the dumbest things ever. Because even if someone's telling you, you only know what they know. Like, these people are in the walls together all day, every day.
What it got to do with you?
Exactly, and you don't know. Like you.
But let me ask you this though. Now I still want to stay on the topic, obviously, but I don't want to like bring it in. Like, I don't want to kind of go back to what we were talking about initially. But when Kobe died. Right?
Yeah.
Now, everybody dies, right? At some point, nobody's making out of this alive.
Right.
Why do you feel like Kobe, like with, and rest in peace to Kobe. I love Kobe. I ain't talking down on Kobe or anything like that. But why do you feel like, when we found out that Kobe died and how much it hurt? I still remember when we spoke. Like, I was like, you was messed up. Larry was messed up. I was messed up. Why do you feel like that hit us so hard? We can get back on that, but like, why did that hit us so hard?
I think it's because people have impact. I don't think, again, I'm not trying to confuse impact with idolization or looking up to someone or holding someone in high regard with idolization. Like, to me, when you look up to somebody, you have a role model, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
you hold someone in high regard.
He's an actual role model.
Right, or someone's making impact on your life, that's fine. I'm talking about when people try to idolize. Like, if Kobe came in the door right now, like if Kobe was alive, I'm just not use Kobe because he's dead.
Yeah.
Or
LeBron.
he's gone. If LeBron came in right now, I'm not gonna pass out. I'm not gonna feel like this nigga is God. You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga say, run to the store, I come. All right. You know what I'm saying? I'm out. Like, I feel like people idolize celebrities too much, and especially their relationships, because you don't know. And people always want to pick sides and try to speculate what they have happen. Like, it was a whole rant. People had Cardi B filed divorce from Offset. People want to find out why. And then before Cardi B says anything, Offset cheated on her, that's what it was. Offset cheated on her. Cardi B then comes out and says, this ain't have nothing to do with no cheating. Offset does not have a baby on the way. Sometimes people just argue and I want to, I file for divorce. People grow apart. Yeah. But people always want this melodramatic, like, all this drama, infidelity, things that they want to speculate about. What did this person do? And it gets this whole men versus women, feud, bro.
This
kills me, man.
Because it was like one of the things on there. I don't know. It probably more often than not. It probably was fake news. But it was saying something about. I'm just hitting on it to touch on a bigger topic. It was saying on there that Offset was mad after she dropped that WAP song.
Right.
And it was saying like that. He was saying that he was mad because it was too vulgar, and that's his wife, and they got a daughter, and all that stuff, and they married and stuff, and she talked. Obviously, she, what she talking about in that, but it's just like. That's a big argument. Like, I would say, because I was talking to a friend of mine, and like we was like going back and forth maybe like 20 minutes, just going back and forth talking about, like, because I was understanding where he was coming from, but then she was like, she said, they said the same stuff about, like what was he talking? What about all the songs that he got? Because Offset got some songs. He got some songs too.
I can't lie. I'd probably be on her side on this one. Right. I don't feel like. I feel like as a normal man, because again. For me, if I was in a relationship or like, what I'm saying, let me edit that out. For me, it's for like the way.
Edit it out.
But
I get in trouble in this.
But I'm saying, like, different people have different standards.
Yeah.
So if you hold a standard, you also have to hold yourself to that standard, or at least make it clear that that's a double standard that you just, that's just something you just have a double standard on. Because to me, I can't lie. You knew Cardi B you met Cardi B as this.
Yeah, you already knew what she was on.
So if you had an issue with that, you can't marry her and then be like, oh, well, I'm mad at you still doing this. Like I said, if it was my standard, it would be something different. But I look at things differently.
Yeah, true.
But if you and especially if you also going around doing the same, like if you going around making, crazy music, you can't be mad at someone else if they make crazy music unless that you made that clear from the jump. Mm-hmm. Like, this is just my standard. I have a double standard. Because that's another topic that we're going to get into one day. I don't necessarily feel all doubles. Because something is a double standard doesn't mean it's unfair.
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference between fair and equality. Like, for example, if I have a 2-foot tall son and I have a 5-foot tall son, you know what I'm saying? I may put one on my shoulders and we watch the game, one might have to stand there. Okay, they're not gonna receive the equal treatment, but would I say that's unfair treatment? Like, no, different things require different, maneuvers. Like, for example, men and women, domestic violence.
Oh,
if a man pushes a woman, we're gonna look at it one way. If a woman pushes a man, we're gonna look at it a different way. I don't think that's unreasonable. I don't think that's a wrong standard to have.
What? You saying it's a wrong standard to look at the woman? I mean, like, you think it's a wrong standard to judge the woman as equally with the man when it comes to domestic violence? What you saying?
I feel like it depends on what it is. I feel like nothing's black and white. Everything's nuanced. I feel like, for example, if I saw a girl normally just playfully push a dude and he fell, I'm not gonna look at the same if I saw a dude playfully push a girl and she fell.
Why?
Because of the man is stronger than that woman. So you're not gonna be held in an equal standard when you have different things come with different responsibilities. If you have a different advantage, you don't get the same, like, it comes with a different, requirement.
I mean, I get that I do.
You see what I'm saying? Like your little brother. If you had a little son who's 2 and he punches your 8-year-old son, are you gonna look the same if your 8-year-old son came and punched that 2-year-old? No, because they're in different standards. Like, why would I hold them to the same exact standard?
I think that's a broad. I think it's a lot more intricate than just that comparison right there. Because I feel like there's different ways to like look at it. Because I do agree with what you're saying. Yeah. Because I definitely agree with what you're saying. But I feel like there's different ways to look at it. Because there's multiple forms of abuse. It's not just like oh, I'm big strong and stuff like that. There's other forms of abuse.
Right. I'm not saying so maybe maybe I used the wrong term. I'm not saying domestic violence in general. I was just using that as just a random example of one double standard I feel like exists for a reason. I feel like the difference between like what people hold of a mother and a father, you know what I'm saying? Both are equally as important, but that doesn't mean they need to do the same things. The mother carries the baby for 9 months. Like, you literally cannot do the same thing. Yeah. But does that mean that one person is better than the other? Yeah, but I'm saying just because you do different things doesn't mean you're not equally as important. And I feel like like that's why there's a difference. Like, a double standard means a lot of people use double standard as if we're not held to the same standard, meaning the same thing has to apply to both of us. Well, no, not necessarily, because if you come with a different, information or different requirements, the standard's gonna change. I feel like that makes sense. That's logical, and I don't think that's the same thing as being unfair. I don't think unfair and being not held to the same exact thing, is the same thing.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, that's something. That's a whole different topic, because we'll sit up in here and talk for 3 hours about one topic. But no, I definitely agree with you on that though. But